No. Good? Okay. Okay, it is Thursday, August 14th, 2025. This is a regular monthly board meeting of the Augsburg Bridge and Port Authority. And this meeting is called to order. Mr. Lawrence, any letters or communications to the board? Approval of board minutes, July 2025. Have they been reviewed?
Yes, they've been reviewed and everything is in order.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
Also moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? The minutes are approved. Mr. Lawrence, I believe there's a need for executive session. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, with the need to go into executive session for matters relating to section 105, 1F of the open meetings law.
Okay. Is there a motion? Made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Second session. Good. Okay, we're coming out of executive session. Mr. Lawrence, any business to be conducted as a result of the executive session?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. It's my understanding that the July Finance Committee's minutes have been approved. Is that correct?
Yes, they were reviewed, everything was in order. So
You moved to have those approved by the board?
I do, I make a motion.
Motion's made. There's a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Those minutes stand approved. Presentations and reports, committee reports by the Finance Committee.
Finance committee met today. We reviewed the June financials, and I will turn it over to Patty to get the rest of the board highlights.
Statement of financial position. Moving down in our accounts receivable regular are $558,000. We cleared some of those old invoices, so we're back up to 94% of the open accounts receivable is in the current for like 30 days. About 98% of the grant receivable underneath that belongs to New York State DOT for the airport revitalization project, waiting for reimbursements to be added. Accounts payable regular is at $185,000. And our project accounts payable is at $3.4 million. That was waiting for the receivables to come in. Most of that has come in and the invoices have been paid since then. We have paid off all of the loans except the big mortgage, which is up in 2028, and the bond. So we've got a little breathing room because the bond is not paid off until 2047. None of us will be here in 2047. The mortgage is paid off in 3 years, so we're in a good position right now. We've used all our stabilization funding. We are waiting for the next funding to come through, which should be in the next week. Any questions on the statement of financial position? The budget actual, all of our income is above budget except for our bridge revenue, which we know from the bridge traffic reports is down, so that we are looking at that as our only under budget income account. Almost all of our expenses so far for the first quarter are under budget. We're just a couple that are over budget. Our bridge maintenance expense, we have an additional salt shipment come in April, and then we had to buy some plow parts and a rescue and descent device. Our general expenses for the bridge, our audit was paid for, and that will even out over the course of the year because it's one payment instead of 12 payments. Our airport general expenses, under the interest expense, that is only the interest on the line of credit for the airport project. When the budget was created, we assumed that the project would be either done or almost done. We were not anticipating that the project would go up this long. So that interest expense will continue to rise while we budgeted for the project. Maintenance expense under the Commerce Park, we finished cleaning up the big pile out there of all the debris and the trees. That was rather a liability on my conscience. And so we had a few extra expenses in April, and James and his crew got it all cleaned up. So it's in excellent shape now. And under the marine terminal, under employee benefits, there was a catch-up to health and welfare for highway workers. Other than that, everything is under budget at the moment, so we're in good shape for the first quarter.
I think that needs to be emphasized again, that staff has done a excellent job in keeping our expenses below the budget that the board had implemented in December, yeah. So thank you for that. I'd like to see that every month, and so far you haven't failed me. Thanks, staff, for that.
Any other questions?
Anything else, Nicole? Finance? Anyone have any questions for Patty? If not, we'll move on to the bridge traffic report. This ought to be fun.
Steve, did you want personnel committee?
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped Megan? Right?
I mean, it's not much.
I'm surprised you didn't hit me.
Wait till after. No, it's just we'd like to welcome our 2 new people. We have our event coordinator, Susie Davis. This is your first meeting, although you've been here almost a month, right?
About 3 weeks.
Yeah. And then our new executive coordinator, Susan Johnson. I think this is the first time in far, far too long that the management side of this table has been full and complete, and it is a huge relief, and we're very excited. I think there's some opportunities for growth with the airport with Susie, and Susan gives us a huge opportunity for Patty and Steve to go back to their actual jobs. And she's a great support for them. So welcome, and I think we're moving in the right direction.
So I guess the question is, do you still like us? It's not yet.
Yeah. Susan is notably quiet over there though, so we'll talk about that.
Maybe that was too early to ask.
No, everybody's been so welcoming, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Good. So when I was out there, she probably made the mistake, Susie, of telling me that her door was always going to be open.
I believe that open door policy.
Yeah, you might want to just tighten that up a little.
I got Charlie's number, I can call him.
Oh God, don't do that.
Anything else? Personnel?
Nope.
No questions of Megan? Now we move on to the bridge traffic report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you can see, the numbers remain the same. I mean, percentages, you can see that overall crossings compared to 2019, you're down basically 35% over last year, 27%. And you see the associated loss of revenue with there. Compare that, you kind of just good job of keeping that money. We're up over $500,000 of lost revenue that we won't get back. That it's just we try to keep our wits about us, but this, you know, I said this the last time. This is going to be a trend. It's just I don't see it ending anytime soon. So we're just adjusting everything to be able to live with that new environment and doing what we can. We are putting this report out to everybody I know. We've been doing that for the last 3 months, just making them aware of it. I see a number of individuals that used it, which, you know, if we can support some of these cases, that's what we're here for. So letting all the news media outlets know and the help of our elected officials too. Any comments?
Last Friday when we had the conference call with the governor's office, I made a point, because I knew the budget was on the line too, that the conversation I had with the governor up in Saranac Lake, again, she asked me about the numbers, and I told her, unfortunately, it looked like we would lose hundreds of thousands of dollars this year in revenue crossing. Little did I know that we're already over $500,000 loss of revenue and traffic across the bridge. So I asked the governor's staff to make sure they let her know that my estimate was a little low, unfortunately, and that the way it's going, and we all know that July and August are always good months for us. A lot of times September is pretty good, so I'd hate to make an estimate again, but I think unfortunately we may be looking at losing $1 million in revenue on bridge crossings this calendar year, and that's just hard to take.
I think in a larger scheme of things too, it's important to know that we're just looking at our numbers. Us to have access to, but the larger trickle effect in our financially distressed communities in general, our county in general, and the businesses that are being impacted. It's a travesty, that's for sure.
Anyone else? Mr. Hartz, continue, please. Or were you done with bridge?
Yes.
All right. Let's move on to Charlie.
Yes, thank you. So, month of July, 31 flights. Our enplanements are 1395s. So our load factor is climbing. 100% completions, on-time performance, a little better than last month. Still have challenge over in Dulles with ATC and weather controls. So that's a lot of times the planes are delayed in Dulles before they even get to us. So that's what a lot of time the the delays are coming from. So, but
Right, we're not the problem.
right. So we're not the problem here at our station here. But I think overall, for compared to last year, we're triple the employments of last year. And I think it's really good to see, if you guys look at the bottom, we're at 7663 so far for the year. And I have the projection number for this month, actually for August, we're projecting for almost 1,300 employments for this month so far. So that's still climbing. A lot of numbers are increasing. So we're looking, I think by the end of August, if everything goes well, we're looking at almost 8,900 employments by end of August. So I don't think we'll have issue reached 10,000 this year. No problem reaching 10,000.
Very good news.
So a little bit update too on the Orlando flight. I'm sure a lot of you guys already heard. So our first flight is February 6th of 26. So a lot of our issues, I spoke with the planning team, was the Canadian tension still haven't set off. So they don't believe that will be worth it to bring it back earlier. So we're still getting more flights. Last year we started at end of February. Now we're starting at the first week of February. So we'll get pretty much 3 months, maybe like 2 months and 3 weeks of. You can already purchase those. Those already up. So it has a set for leaving OGS at 5:54 and getting into Orlando at 9:30. So it's a night flight. Fare begin at $74 one way currently. So and again, in addition to the nonstop flights, any of the passenger want to go to Orlando, they can still use the breeze through option through RDU, our new routes that's starting. 6 days a week. Yep. So pretty much. Yep. So pretty much almost every 6 days a week they can go to Orlando if they wanted to.
What days are the nonstop?
The nonstops are Monday and Fridays. So their intervals are Monday and Fridays on the nonstop. So I think that will help a lot on that. Myself will be traveling to the Breeze Conference in Salt Lake City between September 8th and the 12th. So the first day I'll get to meet with the Breeze network team and marketing team. So that's the first day, and the second day I will get to meet with Dave Nealman. He'll be there. So that's the CEO, and then their chief commercial officer Lucas Johnson, which he used to work for Allegiant. And then so now he's with Breeze. So and then after that, I think at night there'll be a group session where we'll be able to talk to all the executives to bring up our airports and our advantage and disadvantage for more route structures. So me and Anthony were setting up to create more like a profile I can bring to the conference, so we can showcase what more can we do out at Onsburg.
I'm sorry, when did you say that was?
December, right?
September
Oh,
September
September?
8th to the 12th. Yep.
Nice.
So, and then actually a lot happening September. So September 2nd, it's our inaugural flight. So that's an event. Yep, September 2nd. Again, I'll invite all the boards to attend. Sam, I would love to have you to speak if that's possible. Eric Fletcher will make his way down here to speak. We'll have Breeze on that inaugural flight. We'll definitely have our water cannon salute on September, and then planning on the planes leaving at 1:07 p.m. So I plan on to have probably a press conference maybe 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours before, just to get it.
How does the load factor look for RDU?
I think it's starting out short a little bit, but I think it's gaining traction slowly. I think it's the same thing that's happening to Dulles when it first starts.
Right.
It starts slow, but I think we're doing pretty good on it on the flights.
Good.
And I think the RDU's been, I believe from here, actually we're the only airport up to the North Country that flies to RDU. Syracuse is the next closest city that flies to RDU. Nobody else does, or up here. So we're leaving the only option that goes there.
Good.
And how long is that flight? Is it
Just
3?
2 hours and some
Okay.
change.
So
Yeah.
it's at like 3:30-ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
You can go all kinds of places.
They can go a good amount of places, and then I believe there's still more routes to be turned on in RDU
Really?
coming up. So they're still working on the system, but there should be more turning on, and there's still future possibility. Sam, I don't know if you have heard, but Breeze has trying to apply for the international flights for their accreditations, so they can start international flights. And I would not be surprised to see one out of RDU. and we'll be able to tap into that network.
Excellent.
So
Good.
And what about the inner line? That's something different too, right?
that's completely
Working on
different.
that?
Yep. We're still working on that. The issue we have seen here, it's still the same. Bree's still rapidly expanding everywhere, so that does pose a lot of threat to the major carrier to interline with them. Especially some of the newer city they're going into, they're pushing more and more into the what we call 3 legacy carriers home. So Phoenix, they're in the Phoenix, they're in Provo, which is 45 minutes outside Salt Lake City, which is
Right.
Delta's hub. So they're,
Other carriers don't like competition. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think I'm not saying that, but I think there's a reason why they call it a legacy carrier. So
That's right. No, I've looked at Raleigh, Durham, the flights out of there, it's just amazing. The time the flight from here gets into RDU, and then what's available from that point, like an hour after you land, you can take a flight anywhere.
exactly.
To
And
the
then
west, to the north, not just the northeast, Midwest, and the
Yep.
south, yeah, it's just
yeah, and Orlando's 40 minutes on the plane. You don't even leave the plane.
right.
I mean, it's the same plane you get to stay on. So for some of the people that worry about connecting, they don't have to leave the plane. Their luggage stays on the plane, they stay on the plane. All of this is where it gets to RDU, gets off the plane. And then additional passenger gets on and continue on to Orlando.
Not bad at all, Charlie.
Besides that, that's all I got.
On the agenda, are you going to put Susie somewhere under airport or?
Yeah.
Well, she just got there.
Right. I've been working on things.
You might as well put it under airport, I would assume, or that'd move Anthony down further. So that's okay.
I appreciate it.
Give him more time.
Port activity report?
For the month, we loaded 22 trucks and received 3 rails. And we've currently been working with a customer on zeroing out a couple of the products. It's been a fair bit of time, so just to keep quality of their product. We've been able to do so with some of their product and close on others. Moving forward, they're going to schedule us on basically a 10-day reoccurring, give or take a couple days given the situation, but basically see a rail car every 10 days to have us act as a surplus overflow depot for one of their products. So that'll be on top of kind of what they typically send. So we may see an increase in rail cars received over the next couple months going into the fall. The New York State OGS salt bids have been awarded, and we expect to see another 4 vessels
That's good news.
totaling somewhere around 80,000.
How much salt is there now? We got 2 in already,
We've had 3 in,
3 in already.
so there's somewhere around 90,000 on site.
There is that much? And you anticipate 4 more?
Correct, totaling somewhere around 80.
So we're about where we were last year?
As far as shipments per head.
Yeah.
Combined Q3 what was there at the beginning of last year. That 16.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is, we depleted inventory, so I think it's building back up to the number that, we may be receiving a couple more than normal, but I think it's because inventory on site was so low to start the season. So the customers are building back
Right.
their inventory on site.
What about the thaw
That has been zeroed out, and we actively, every couple months or, whenever we speak, we always, I enjoy the process and just the idea of the environmental friendly, but nothing scheduled yet. We do have a customer that is on site that actually pre-blends it and would send it mixed, so it wouldn't be our responsibility or, to provide the labor to do the process.
What is the situation with the railroad? Were we looking to go out to bids for the upgrade?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet?
We've got on the New York State side, we're in good shape, but on the federal side, it's actually going faster than expected, but it's still a long process. Basically, they have to get grant approval or that we can access that money. And then once we do that, then we can go out. We really haven't done the design work because we haven't been able to access any of the funding at the federal side. So
Is that rail and bridge?
that is most all the rail and crossing the bridge issues. That design is all done, but it's just been in limbo as far as getting off the dime and getting it going. It's been so long, it's kind of the same. It's kind of like the childcare. When you do get base, it will be much higher than what was originally planned.
Of course. Just wondering, that upgrade in the rail on the weight, how it could help us down the line if we need to get product there.
Increases your capacity, what, 15%? That, and then that's what all the major shippers on the rail are used to. So when you have to
Right.
reduce down there, then it becomes an issue.
Let's hope that's in place before we get a major shipper. Hey. Anything else on Fort? James?
Nope, sorry, that was all I had.
Anthony?
Yeah, so starting with the building occupancy report, we've been maintaining occupancy well, haven't decreased. We're at near 100% renewal rate for all our tenants as they come up, which is nice. Our two remaining larger spaces, we're in talks for lease opportunities on those, which would raise our occupancy up drastically. So I'm hoping within the next month to be able to narrow those down.
That's the 10,000 in building 3 and 4.
Yes. So those are beautiful spaces. It'd be nice to get somebody, a long-term tenant in those finally. Some kind of highlights over the past month of economic development activities. Maybe before I start on those, I do want to give a public acknowledgement, especially for James and his team, in particular the summer help, the college kids that I've worked with the past summer, and really getting the Congress Park looking very good. Between refurbishment of the signs and just general landscaping, and it's been great. So we got some really good kids, and hopefully they'll be able to come back next year. We've provided a few port tours this past month, one in particular to the St. Lawrence County delegation of the Farm Bureau. So it was nice to have that team out just to get an idea for what the space is and kick around ideas, try to see if anything might fit either now or in the near term. So that was encouraging. Another encouraging item was the grant so we're part of a grant with the National Renewable Energy Laboratory Marine Fuel Initiative. It's no funding to us, but we're a partner port, and it's nice to be one of 5 ports. The other ones are Chicago, Hamilton, Detroit, Duluth, and then Ogdensburg. So that's
Pretty good company.
yeah. So we found out about that last year, and then it was really put on hold. Now we just had our first kickoff meeting, and really that whole program is to work with partner ports on developing alternative fuel bunkering opportunities. We were initially chosen for one of the larger economic development programs just down the road, even though that ceased to exist. And it's not coming through. There are some other opportunities that really keep us in contention for our location as an opportunity. So it's just nice to be included with those other much larger ports. So that's good. So that's moving forward. We are continuing discussions with the Canadian firm that I presented on some time ago, and they're working on putting an update package together that'll be able to present to the board. But they've been talking with a lot of other economic development partners in the area about energy usage, property incentives, and all those things. So it's encouraging. They've rescoped the project, which is actually better for us because it may play into one of their products may actually play into this alternative fuel opportunity on the grant. So if things actually come together, we'd be in a really good position on that. And that would involve a sale of some industrial park property, get that back on the tax roll. So a couple of nice, exciting things that have been happening this month.
Steve, would you ask Adam at OMLC to just give us a written report on what he sees as port traffic between U.S. and Canadian ports? What,
Overview of what they're seeing.
yes,
Okay.
he doesn't have to be here. You can just put it in a memo to us or something. Be interesting to see his point of view. Okay. Anything else from Anthony? Just know that, see, your report's in red, just so you know. No pressure, Anthony, but. Mr. Lawrence, any unfinished business?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Business items, something under general administration. Under B1,
Agenda item B1, approval of the supplemental agreement number 1, federal aid project agreement in 775428 for the OBPA Bridge Maintenance and Rehabilitation Project. The Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority has received supplemental agreement number 1 from the New York State Department of Transportation and the Federal Highway Administration for the OBPA Bridge Maintenance and Rehabilitation Project in 775428. The total funding is $50 million. This resolution authorized the implementation of an initial funding of $282,000 for project design work, representing 100% of the federal and state aid eligible costs, and appropriates those funds accordingly. When we get supplemental agreements, they have to be approved by the board in a certified resolution. So what you see here will have to be signed tonight so that I can get that back. I've been sitting on this for about 3 weeks. It's not good. Our engineers are still able to work, but this one's more work. Along with the bridge, the truss painting, and then the asphalt paving and the
all right, right. Is there a motion
I'll make a motion.
and seconded? Any discussion? Susan, call the roll, please.
yes.
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 Agenda item B2,
Okay, approval of lease supplement number 5 with Core Tech LLC. Staff has negotiated lease supplement number 5 with Core Tech LLC for 140 square feet of office space in Suite 201B of the Bridge Administration Building for a 1-year period commencing October 1st, 2025 and terminating September 30th, 2026 at a rate of $25.50 per square foot, equaling $297.50 per month, or $3,570 for the 1-year period, inclusive of utilities. All of the terms and conditions of the original lease agreement shall remain in full force and effect and are hereby ratified and affirmed.
thank you. Motion
So moved.
made and seconded. Any discussion? Susan, call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Agenda item B3,
Okay, approval of lease supplement number 3 with Amex Duty or Tax and Duty Free Shops Incorporated. Staff has negotiated lease supplement number 3 with Amex Tax and Duty Free Shops Incorporated for space located at 102 Bridge Approach Road, Ogdensburg, New York 13669, for a 1-year period commencing June 1st, 2025 and terminating May 31st, 2026, with rent set at the greater of 15% of duty-free and country store gross annual sales, or a minimum annual lease rental of $40,000. All other terms and conditions of the original lease agreement shall remain in full force and effect and are hereby ratified and affirmed.
motion
So moved.
and seconded. Discussion?
I do want to just notify the board that this reflects a $10,000 minimum decrease from the previous year. And that is really reflective of the decrease in bridge traffic and the continual, at the end of every fiscal year, they're always having to add in more to meet the minimum. And
Yes.
just keep the gap continues to get bigger. So we're at a stage to where do we want, we want to keep duty free as an option at our bridge. We're realigning the financial agreement, and this is still in line at 40,000 for the year is still well within line. A straight rental that we would do in a Commerce Park building. So
Good. Right, I was gonna question that. I knew it was less than it had been before,
yes,
but I certainly understand why. Again, it's just another ripple effect of everything that's going on. Any other discussion? Susan, call the roll, please. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, agenda item D1.
Agenda item D1 is Airport Gateway Improvements Terminal Renovations Project. Approval of engineering change notice ECN-01 with Brown Johnson for the extension of construction phase services. The Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority, the authority, is currently engaged in the Gateway Improvement Terminal Renovations Project at the Ogdensburg International Airport, New York State DOT, pin number 7903. And due to the project schedule adjustments in construction contract, McFarland Johnson has submitted engineering change order notice, ECN 01, requesting a 6-month extension of construction-based services. The extension is necessary to continue construction administration, resident project representation, stakeholder coordination, and closeout services as originally outlined in Exhibit A, scope of work to task order authorization number 1. This engineering change notice does not modify the original scope of work, but extends the service period to ensure uninterrupted oversight and documentation throughout the project's completion. The additional fees associated with this extension is $200,022 to be billed in accordance with the original compensation model. Cost plus fixed fee with direct reimbursable expense as detailed in the attached documentation. Funding for engineer charge notice ECN 01 will be drawn from allowance number 1 of the Gateway Improvements Terminal Renovations Project in 7904.
Motion,
Simmons.
second,
Second.
seconded. Discussion?
If you recall, when Jason was here last, he gave more detail on how this relationship, our relationship and with our engineering firm, all tied to the um, the change in schedule, the delay with completion of the project. And this project was supposed to be completed by contract on March 28th of 2025. If you add that up, we're looking at middle of October, so you're well into 6 months here. This, probably I should have brought this to you when Jason was here, so I could explain it more. But this is, and as Jason explained, when we do payment requisitions, this is going to be part of what we will be talking with the contractor as far as getting the responsible party to be able to pay for these costs. And that's currently underway right now with that. So that is the path that we're on right now.
So this allowance number one is part of the contingency.
Yes, but as you all know, is for a given amount of money. Anything beyond that, hard on.
Yes.
So we need to manage that. Just as I said before, telling you about the amounts that we have surplus, it's not ours to keep. The downside is if we exceed that, anything over there is our responsibility. So that's how we need to manage that.
So this 200,000 will reduce that. So we have what, 200,000 left?
Yes, and when I talk about the furniture, there's a surplus in that one, so, you know, not to negate any of these with a plus and a minus, but it's better news than not. So when we talk about the furniture, we're way under budget here, so that takes a little bit of a sting out of the using this kind of money in the house. We hope to be made whole, and we're working on it right now.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I would just say that I feel trapped. And I don't like feeling trapped. I feel trapped.
Right.
And I hope that
Exactly.
realize that I can call back.
Anyone else? Jim?
No.
Megan?
I don't know that I'm not happy about it, obviously. I mean, the time run on this project is not reasonable. And I want it very clear that while we have to use our contingency fund to continue with McFarland Johnson, who does a great job, and in no way, shape, or form is responsible for the issue, I think we need to be prepared to pursue that with the contractor if necessary.
I think we all agree with that.
Okay, we did put them on notice. They did respond. We're in the process of responding to that.
Okay. Any other discussion? Susan, call the roll, please.
Yes.
No.
Pretty much already been said, that we need 4 votes to pass anything. I vote yes, but it still doesn't pass. Let's move on to D2.
Okay, approval of T-Hanger lease agreement with Frank Richardson. Staff has negotiated a new lease agreement with Frank Richardson for T-Hanger number 2 at the Ogdensburg International Airport for a one-year period commencing September 1st, 2025, and terminating August 31st, 2026 at a rate of $240 per month, $880 for the one-year period inclusive of utilities.
Motion?
So moved.
Second? Any discussion? Susan, call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Agenda item D3.
Approval of T-Hanger lease agreement with Frederick Groban. Staff has negotiated a new lease agreement with Frederick Groban for T-Hanger number 3 at the Ogdensburg International Airport for a one-year period commencing September 1st, 2025, terminating August 31st, 2026 at a rate of $240 per month, $2,880 for the one-year period inclusive of utilities.
Motion?
I'll move it.
Second? Made and second. Any discussion? Susan, call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Agenda item D4.
Agenda item D4 is the Ogdensburg International Airport, authorizing the award of furniture contract for the gateway improvements to renovation. The Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority, OBPA, is undertaking the gateway improvements project for the Ogdensburg International Airport. McFarland Johnson Incorporated, serving as the authority's design consultant, conducted a competitive bidding process for the furniture scope of work, inviting 3 vendors to submit proposals based on a consistent basis of design and comprehensive furniture requirements package. All 3 vendors submitted responsive proposals in compliance with OBPA procurement policies and applicable funding requirements. And after evaluation, McFarland Johnson recommended award of the furniture contract to CNY Office Furniture as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder with a total bid of $118,562.07, inclusive of delivery, assembly, and installation. McFarland Johnson further recommended that the OBPA budget add an additional 10% contingency to accommodate potential refinements during the procurement. You see the results there. Staff concurs with McFarland Johnson's recommendation to award the furniture contract for the lowest qualified bidder, CNY, as shown.
Thank you. Motion
So moved.
I'll second.
and second. Any discussion?
On this, when we were talking about our allowances and things that we were going to adjust in the project with staff, we had a number of sessions to get the project within budget. One of those was the furniture. The furniture was part of that we would be purchasing, and we came up with what we thought we wanted, and it was roughly $300,000. And we probably brought in different firms, and they showed us what they had and what they could do. It was a good process. And as you can see, the number came in well under half of that. So what I was explaining previously, there's a surplus in there, that, and even with the 10%, there's going to be other items that we're going to come to you on, or we're going to add to that have to do with outfitting some things that Susie will need, or the conference room, or just or that are recommended things that are nice to have, and rather than we absorbing it, the project can pay for them. So that's kind of thinking we added 10% contingency.
Susie, have you seen the list?
I have not.
Somebody mentioned to me, if you were to try to schedule weddings and stuff out there, do we have appropriate, I don't want to say decorations.
Tables, linens.
The decor.
Yeah, things like a chandelier. I don't know.
Lighting.
Yeah, some kind of light, yeah.
Lighting features.
However, maybe not a chandelier, but something else. I don't know, I'm not up on all that. But I'm just thinking in the great room, I don't know what's on the list. What do you, no, you don't have to tell me. Do you think whatever's on the list, we're in the right place, what we need, for what Susie may need to get events in there?
I think in bulk, we're there, but there's gonna be some things we haven't thought of. Also, we're not aware that, that's not our strong point, that's why she's here, so
Yeah,
we do expect, and we're good with that.
I never thought about it until somebody brought it up to me.
No, there's things there, and if we get the project, and get ahead of that, and we have some money to do that.
Okay.
So it's predominantly at this point, like seating for passengers in the waiting room and counters. Yeah. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jason said that too.
Doesn't say Susie chandelier anywhere.
No grand piano.
That's gonna be a running joke.
I haven't shown it up.
Dance balls?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, God.
I do remember the '80s.
Disco.
Can we price out a light up dance floor? Can we just-
But like off the rip, there's 300 chairs for the great room. There's
Oh, yeah.
round tables, 70 turns round. I mean, so there's some starting points that are embedded in this,
Yeah.
which is good. We can deal with lighting down the road.
All right.
If you wanted to donate, you could just have the Sanborn's Memorial.
That's okay.
Dedicate.
There's fixed arm vinyl back seats in the conference room.
Matching
Start-
Matching cookies. You're not gonna get a table like that? Good, thank you.
Personally thrilled with these.
So can I just ask quickly, like the New York State delivery, assembly, and installation, okay, it's the installation. Yes.
So it's not like I
Like
give
10,000.
No, I think that was thanks to McFarland Johnson for knowing where these companies were. I think that's pretty good price.
They're also OGS state contract.
Good, good. Anything else? Now that Susie's getting her chandelier? Susan, call the roll, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You threw one at me, eh? Agenda item 8.1, is it?
Yeah, it's on.
It's in your new packet.
Oh, you're throwing me on. No, I make notes in my old packet. Yeah, thank you. H1,
Okay, agenda H1, Onsbury International Airport's approval of amendment to fuel supply agreement with World Fuel Service Incorporated. This first amendment to the fuel supply agreement is crucial for the continued and efficient operation of Breeze Airway at Onsbury International Airport. The amendment extends the agreement term to ensure long-term fuel supply stability and introduce a commercial fuel inventory arrangement that allows for consistent availability of jet fuel to meet both commercial and general aviation demands. This arrangement provides several key benefits. The first one is operation continuity for Breeze Airway. The ability to maintain commercial fuel inventory on-site ensure Breeze Airway can operate without interruption, supporting scheduled flights and enhance the airport reliability as a service hub. Second one is the financial benefit to the authority and the airport. The commercial fuel inventory structure with defined collection fees and bulk fuel pricing creates a dependable revenue stream for the authority while optimizing fuel costs and supply for commercial operations. The third one is a strengthening partnership. The amendment formalized cooperation between the authority and World Fuel Service, fostering a long-term partnership that benefit both the airline and the airport's strategic growth. The fourth one is support for regional economic development. Reliable air service through Breeze Airway attracts more passengers, stimulate local business activities, and position airport as a competitive transportation gateway for the North Country and the Canadian markets.
You, is there a motion? Second, discussion? Charlie, that's, have they been out there before, World Fuel Services?
So yes, so actually, quite frankly, World Fuel Service is the sister company of Ascent Aviation. I'm sure you guys have heard that name. So they work along each other. We do have a fuel contract with Ascent Aviation. There's original fuel supply agreement with Ascent Aviation. This amendment just adds that for first for us to manage the fuel. Second one is for us to charge them for all the fees
Mhm.
and the third one is for us to get the contract pricing to supply our GA traffics.
Good. Any other discussion? Susan, call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay. Anything else? Did I miss anything? Including comments? Staff? Andy still on? Andy, you have a question?
You could speak, Andy, if you have anything.
Okay, no, I'm all set for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Andy. Okay, next meeting date is scheduled for September 11th at 5. How does that fit with everyone's schedule? Dave, you know yet? Work for you? You don't think so? Susan, you'll have to poll the board and see if the 15th we have a quorum at least. I'm sorry for the 11th. Anything else? No? Your motion to adjourn? Made and seconded? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Stand adjourned. Anyway, wait.